So my name is Dr. Constance Scharf, and I am the VP of Science and Research at Rock to Recovery on the board of directors, and then I'm also I'm the chair of Science and Research on the board and the VP of Business Development at Rock to Recovery. I'm a PhD, and I specialize in complementary therapies, and so I was really excited to be able to work with Rock to Recovery, and we're going to give you a little bit of background on the science of music, musical interventions and music therapy, and then we're going to do an interactive session. So chew, 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 because you will be singing in a few minutes. So why we're here? Wait, this mic is in a weird place. We're here because Wes and I are both sober. Tomorrow I'll celebrate 21 years of sobriety. In a row on purpose, as our friend Brando in San Diego likes to say. Anyways, but Wes went to treatment. I didn't. I did it the old-fashioned way with 12 steps. But Wes went to treatment, and he'll tell you a little bit about his story in a minute. But I came into contact with Rock to Recovery at an elite treatment center down in Malibu, California, and one of our guys walked into the room. He was going to do a session. He said, "I think I know you from the business. I used to work in the record business before I got my doctorate." And I said, "No, I don't, but I'd love to see your session." And I expected to see a third grade recital because we work with non-musicians. And at the end of an hour, they were all people who were very, very ill. They were all in detox. We had one woman who was probably a little over-medicated, started to go on the nod and fall out of her chair. And Sonny, he just kept strumming and just, leaned her back in. And at the end, they wrote a really good song. It wasn't going to win a Grammy, but it was really quality. And but what sold me on the program was the next day, I was preparing to give a presentation to the clients, and they had their phones. And we upload the songs to the SoundCloud, and they were sharing their songs. They said, "Hey, did you hear what my band Raw Oysters did yesterday?" "No, but did you hear what Folding Chair did?" And that's when I knew I had to be involved. So that's why we're here today. Because we want to look at these complementary therapies, these alternative therapies, the CAM therapies, and get them integrated into treatment because they usually work in a very profound way and usually have fewer side effects than some of our other kinds of therapies. So who do we serve? We work with non-musicians, primarily. Occasionally there's a musician in the room, but this is not therapy for musicians. Organizations like Music Cares do that sort of work. Our sessions are run by rock stars in recovery. They are all people, usually touring musicians who are in recovery, very often have retired from touring, although Noah hasn't quite retired from touring yet. His band Neurosis is going on the road next month. But they really have a heart for bringing this therapy into treatment programs. We go into treatment settings. They may be working with veterans, at-risk youth, addiction treatment, corrections, all sorts of different settings. We form a band with whoever's in the room, write a song, record it, and upload it to the web. And we do that in about an hour. Our sessions usually run 90 minutes, but they can go run anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. Who is this good for? It's good for those in treatment from addiction or mental illness, veterans with traumatic brain injury, PTSD, and their caregivers and families. We work with the Department of Defense through the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program and travel all over the nation and now internationally to work with veterans and active duty military and their families with this program. We work with youth, and then, of course, regular people who just want to improve their mental health. We've just started some forward-facing programs to the public. The immediate outcomes associated with singing and playing music, and I just want you to know this in case you want to hire us, the entire brain fires. So music is different than other sorts of therapy. So when you have yoga or meditation or breathing, acupuncture, those fire the brain in different ways, right? So if the problem with addiction is that we're stuck on a feedback loop of a sort, right? The obsessive thoughts, right? I need to get my fix, I need to get my fix, I need to get my fix. And then everything else just gets in the way of that. So what we're trying to do is break that feedback loop, that obsessive thinking. And so playing music and singing, not listening to music, playing music and singing fires the entire brain on fMRI scans and helps to break that obsessive thought process. Then when you couple that with other forms of complementary therapies like yoga, meditation, and so on and so forth, we get the brain firing in different ways. And that in itself is extremely therapeutic and helps push the treatment process and the healing process forward on a neurological basis. So that's what we're doing with this program. The brain also dumps a whole bunch of feel-good chemicals for a natural high. We love this with our addiction treatment clients, right? Because they get oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin dumped into the brain. So they come in, they very often want to leave treatment, want to kill themselves, all those sorts of things. And they leave and like, woohoo, rock and roll, like we are happy to be here and be alive. And it usually increases their stay in treatment because they want to come back and do programs like ours. Aspects of their story are shared and reframed through the lyric writing process, which you will get to see in just a moment. Singing the hook, we allow some very dark feelings to come up, which often do in a treatment facility for the chorus, but we try to make the chorus, the money part of the song, right? The hook, the part that they're going to leave singing, we try to make that positive so that they can have a positive experience and a positive touchstone when they leave. We want them to see themselves in a new way as someone who completes a task, someone who works in a team, someone who can communicate effectively, because addicts and alcoholics don't usually have much of that experience when they're coming into treatment. We also find that their ability to withstand feelings improves, right? They start to be able to process the emotions, and we start to identify them here, and then we can take that out into other therapeutic settings with therapists and other parts of the clinical team. And they work with, as a team and community begins to build. Because you know how it is, like if you're like, you hear this all the time in your treatment facilities. If I have to hear that MF talk about his boyfriend or her girlfriend one more time in a process group, I'm going to break somebody's neck, right? We hear that all the time. And so this is a way for us to get out of that endless, process and work together in a way that's fun. Our longer-term therapeutic outcomes, they learn to reach out to each other in times of distress. So we want them to build those bridges of community that we see, in places like 12 steps. We want to foster a desire to make recovery a priority. People stay in treatment longer and are more engaged in places that have Rock to Recovery and programs like it than in places that don't, because it's fun. And anytime you can retain someone in treatment, not only are their odds of staying clean better, but it's also better for your bottom line. We like to say, if you retain somebody because of this program, it pays for itself with just one client. We have increased compliance with an overall treatment plan, a willingness to try new things. We get a lot of people who are like, I can't sing. I'm not a musician. I don't know how to play the guitar. Well, guess what? I don't know how to play the guitar, and I'm the doctor for the group. So, that's not a requirement to be able to do this work, right? So we get them to try new things, and that helps them in other aspects to try other things that are suggested to them. We get them to take a risk, and you will get to experience that firsthand in a moment. We uncover material that can be used in other settings. We really like to work very closely with the clinical team to say, hey, this is what came up in the session, and we want to share that with you. And we develop a sense of connection and purpose. Rock to Recovery has several services. We offer sessions in treatment facilities in areas where we do not have, we have 13 program administrators right now, and very soon when Noah comes on full-time, we will have 14. In places where we do not have services, we bring workshops, and Wes and I and some of our other staff can fly in and do those for you, very intensive work with your individuals. We do retreats. We're having our first sold-out retreat in Costa Rica in 2 weeks. Wes and I are very excited about that. And we've also started sober companion services because, Wes and I both come from a music background, and we get calls from guys in bands who can't come off the road. And so we need to take, treatment to them. And so we do that now with transport and helping individuals transition back home, as well as, touring and those sorts of services. So those are all available now. And I would like to turn this over to my colleague. I think it's you. I think Wes Geer. Wes Geer played with Korn, so he knows a little bit about the guitar. And let's try this out, shall we?
We got to get, sorry about the F-bombs, everybody. I'm sure it's not the first one you ever heard. My name is Wes Geer, and I'm the CEO and founder. You guys are going to be famous now. You're going to be on my Instagram. Wow. All 7 people will see it. I'm the founder of Rock to Recovery, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here. And I just got to go out on a tangent and go totally off script. I was thinking about pride, right, and how there's a shame and guilt that was associated with homosexuality by the world, and now the corporations embrace the whole movement. So beautiful. So I was thinking, what about addiction? How has this movement changed? And then I got to learn more about Dr. Smith and that picture of the door, that he was a felon for helping to treat people like me. How incredible is that? So these movements work, right? There's so many movements today, and it's easy to be caught up in like, oh, another movement. But gosh darn it, the work you're doing, the work I'm doing, the work we're doing is working. Can we give ourselves and Dr. Smith a round of applause right now? We're changing the world, y'all. We're changing the world. I got chills. That's what it's about. Well, the AC is on pretty high too, so it's one of the 2 things. So yeah, my journey is I got a record deal, many crappy bands. And when I got into methamphetamine, suddenly I was masterminding this band, like all good tweakers. And we got a record deal. So of course for me, it was like clearly the methamphetamine that was giving me all this talent. And I toured like that, like a madman for a long time. I did not die. Spoiler alert. And I ended up in a treatment center. And it was a cool program called Newfound Life down in Long Beach. And I didn't know, I just knew meth and heroin, I'd probably do that too much. Maybe if I could kind of, keep it for the weekends or something, my life might get better. And I was introduced to 12 steps. I'm a 12-stepper. And in that treatment center, it was gender specific. There was 22 dudes. And, I was coming off a tour bus full of shame, guilt, ego, all these feelings, all these emotions. And it was very cliquey, right? Because you're just so insecure. You're, the pause, right? Post-acute withdrawal. It's just like such a weird place to be. You don't know who you are. Who am I? Who are you? And it was kind of like, well, I like that guy. That guy's cool. Screw him. He's a weirdo. He was burning pages of the big book in his trash can last night. True story. I don't know about that guy. He's only 19. I'm not talking to that guy. It was very cliquey. And I did bring my guitar because, when I was calling the different rehabs, I'm only coming if I can bring my guitar. Okay, you can bring your acoustic. Because some people at the time wouldn't allow music because that was part of bad behavior. So think about this. We're talking about movements. We're talking about change here. But what I noticed is when we would get done with the double scrub, and it's very cliquey, right? 22 guys, and, we're definitely not kumbaya-ing together. There's none of that. But I would break out my guitar and start strumming some hokey, like, bow-ding, but little country riffs. And everybody would start dancing and doing, like, silly dances, and we'd write these dumb lyrics, and we'd just all come together. It was instantly destroyed any walls, any barriers we had. And that stuck with me, because that was not part of a group. That was, there's nothing clinical about it at the time. It was just me messing around. But that really stuck with me. So as a result of getting sober and staying sober, I thought my music career was over, right? The lies our head tells us when we walk into recovery, this is going to be horrible. I probably won't die, but life's going to suck, clearly. And I got to go and I got the gig with the band Korn only as a result of my recovery. They actually were looking for a sober guitar player. And the guy who I replaced is dead now. He drank himself to death very quickly. And so I toured around the world like that for a while. And then the gig was coming to an end. So I was like, well, I'm a 40-year-old musician. What the heck do I do now? I'm out of work and I'm sober. You could really get into self-pity being a broke musician who's sober. Thanks, God. Why me? Really, that's how I felt. And then so I went back to what I was taught, which is I can pray for myself if others are to be helped. And out of desperation, I got really into prayer and meditation. Just like, show me. I'm certain I'm not sent here in this life to suffer a miserable, sober musician death, eating top ramen and hating myself. So the idea came for me, Rock to Recovery, to find a way to bring music into treatment. Because it wasn't in my treatment center, it wasn't in my friend's treatment center, it wasn't in the other treatment center. There was such a hole for it. And so I just did what I always did, which is like, I'm going to go write songs with the clients, and I'm going to get them to write songs. And my brother, who's a very smart and accomplished businessman and multimillionaire, he's like, I don't know, dude, writing a song with 12 people who don't even know how to play. And I almost didn't do it. I was like, you're right, this is a stupid idea. But then I went, you ever see a TED Talk on the why? It's very famous, like why Apple does what they do. Like, so I went back and I said, wait. I'm not going to worry about what happens. I'm going to go in the treatment center and tell them, this is why I'm here. I'm just like you. I'm sober. You're going to sit in treatment all day. You have to talk about your shame and your guilt and the trauma and the this and the that, and you're going to have to own your part, and you're going to have to deal with this, and you have to man up or become a woman and dignity. And why is there not music here? And they're like, yeah, we need some music, don't we? So I said, I don't know if this is going to suck or what, but this is our group. Let's do it together. And by the way, pause. Dude, what time do we have to be done by? Because I could talk for 5 hours. 1:30? Awesome. What time is it now? I think my watch is fast. Let's synchronize our watches, everybody. 12:50. This is great. I'll wrap this up in about 30 minutes, and then we'll have 5 minutes to do music. We can write a song in 5 minutes. All the best ones are. 3 chords and a hook. Boom. Print it. Okay. So I went in there, and the one quick story I want to tell you is I was just a guy with no really clinical background, a guy who had a few years sober, desperate to pay my, rent and bring some music into a treatment center. And in one of the first groups, we had this guy that we call Mr. Pink. He came into group late, and he was a junkie who was horribly dope sick. In this room, you should know a little bit about what that's like. It's the most hellacious flu, and you poop yourself, and you want to die, and it doesn't end, and you can't sleep. And he came in, and he's like, why am I in this music group? What the hell? I'm probably going to die as a junkie, but why? I came here to get sober. What is this stupid music group? I don't play music. And by that time, I had no instruments left. I had a pink shaker, hence the moniker Mr. Pink. And I was like, dude, I get it. I was heroin, same thing. This is what we're doing. We're writing a song. If you could just shake this, and we got this verse going. It goes 4 times. We're going to drop into the chorus. He's like, okay. And he started playing and getting into it. Wait, what'd you say, Wes? How long is the chorus? Okay, cool. By the end of the session, he was out of his chair, jumping around, dancing, going like this. And he's like, I don't feel dope sick anymore. This is great. And he wanted to live. Think about that. Because the thing that annoys me is when people go, oh yeah, music group, that's fun. If you say that, you don't get it. Because what this did is physically transform this gentleman. Physically transformed his dope sick symptoms. It changed his measures of wellness to being suicidal to like, I can feel good without drugs. And what I like to say is we can get into all the clinical stuff all day long. But what I find is we have this thing, let's call it a soul. And as time goes on, we get fear and shame and trauma and low self-esteem, and it just coats that soul. We can't get into it. We can't get into that happy, joyous, and free, happy part anymore, especially if you're a junkie or an alcoholic. You haven't felt that little child that's inside of you in a long, long time. The kid that runs down the cereal aisle at 5 going, ah, who doesn't care what anybody thinks. And what the music that we do in our sessions cracks through those layers and gets right into the soul. And I watch people find that childlike, playful spirit yet again. And once you do that, once you show the person hope, what have you done? You've shown them that the very thing they've been looking for their whole life is not dead and gone. It's still there, right? So that's the story of Mr. Pink. What we're going to do here today is we're going to write a song with all 4,692 of you, and we're going to record it, and we're going to knock Taylor Swift off the charts. So it's going to be a mock session. We want to show you how we do it, in a simplified version. But one of the key things we like to do, because we work in a variety of treatment settings, is we have a topic for discussion that is akin to whatever we're treating, right? Like, eating disorders, or we have a contract with the Department of Defense and we fly internationally. We get flown by the Department of Defense to work with wounded veterans. Our first trip to Germany is in July. How rad is that? Can we cheer on that? That's amazing. And And remember, this is a guy who thought music would never be a part of my sober life. And I get to go help veterans in Germany. It's like, whatever you are, thank you. Thank you so much. So we're going to do this, this mock session, and we're going to need a few of you. So don't be scared, because one of you will win a brand new Lexus. It's out in the garage. Okay, come on up. I saw your hands up. Come on up. Yeah, come on up. Yep, come on up. It's a brand new Lexus. I'm not sure. I think it's about... come on up. So what we need is there anybody here who like, and I get it, you're probably a little shy. Is there anybody here when the music comes on, you can feel that beat? All right, come on up, girl. Yeah, you're going to go right here. You're going to be on the bass. All right, come on up. Okay, and have you ever played anything at all? Nope. And so just so you know, in our groups, we take people who have never played ever. And like Constance was saying, we get them playing, and it's not about being Jimi Hendrix, right? So, yeah, and you're going to be our bass player. Hi. Yep. Come on up, ladies. I feel like there's another young lady who was talking to me in the hallway that wanted to come up. Come on up. Anybody love to sing? You love to sing? Come on up. Come on up. Yeah, cool. I mean, we're running out of chairs, but we'll do it. Hey, don't touch my guitar. Just kidding. So one little point I want to make before we jump this off is wow, I wish people in treatment were this excited to take chances. One thing I like to explain, because this is the knee-jerk reaction that everybody has to our session, especially clinical staff. They're the worst, because they'll be like, get in there, Jimmy, go do that rock recovery. Hey, you want to come in the session? Oh, no, not me. You don't understand, I'm not musical. You're telling your client to go in there and take chances, but you won't join the session too. But the point I want to make is this, that when people say they're not musical, what I try to explain is this. Pop music and pop culture stole music from the average human. Because where did music come from? Was a caveman walking through the jungle and a piano fell down and he just started ripping out Chopin and taking Instagram pictures and getting 9 million followers? No. It was a very simple form of expression. That's where it came from. Pop culture turned it into Bruno Mars and Alicia Keys, right? But at its essence, music's just about the human soul expressing and creating and emoting, right? That's what it's about. So what we always ask people is like, you're not musical? Really, you're not musical? What happens if you're 3 years old and I put on music? What would you do? What? Exactly. Who taught you that? Not your mama. It's in your soul. So that's what we're doing here today. We're just accessing that part of our soul. So we're going to run through this really quickly. I'm not even going to do the whole group, but we got to get our topic. So what we do in Rock to Recovery is we have a check-in. So today, by the way, who up here is in recovery, if you don't mind outing yourself? You are. Okay, I'm going to do it this way, just you three, because you're special. So what we do is we take a topic, and that becomes our lyrics, because lyrics are feelings and emotions put to music. That's what they are. So this song becomes their song, our song for us, by us, right? That's what we're doing. So our topic today is, what lies does your head tell you? This is a great one, what we use a lot in treatment for people who only have a few days sober. What lies does your head tell you? Okay, wait, we're going to do it. And then what is the truth? What is the truth? And then you'll scribe some little notes, and we'll turn that into lyrics. Okay, so this is how the check-in process goes. I'm gonna ask you your name, and you'll say how long you have, and then you're gonna share. And at the end, we say you're rad, because that's what we do in Rock to Recovery. And let me tell you, when you're in treatment, it's been a long time since you heard you're rad. Let me tell you. Okay, so watch first. Here we go. You ready to describe a little bit? All right, so what's your name?
TJ.
We say, what's up, TJ? And this is literally how we do it in our sessions. All right, TJ, how long do you have sober?
3 years, 7 months.
Make some noise for TJ. Yeah, woo! In a row? Wow, that's a long time. All right, so 3 years, 7 months. What's a lie that your head tells you?
I'm not good enough.
Who can relate to that? This is what we do in treatment. See, you're not alone. Okay, and what's the truth?
I'm worthy
Worthy of what?
of love.
Anything and everything.
And everything, yeah.
Who agrees with that? Yeah, that's right. So what do we say to TJ? 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good. Right on. All right, next up. What's your name?
I'm Marion Ross.
We say, hi, Marion Ross. Very good. And how long do you have SOBs?
29 years.
What? Woo! And I'll say it again. We always do this in treatment. It gets the energy going, gets the happiness, the joy there. All right. So what is a lie that your head tells you?
I was never a good mother.
Ooh, feel like failure, not doing. Yeah. And what's the truth?
I'm a damn good mother.
Yeah. So watch this. I'm going to show you this new power I've developed. It's called telekinetic powers. There's 2 words I'm thinking of, crowd. What are they? Wow, you guys are mind readers. Amazing. Okay, and what's your name?
Annie Delaware.
We say, what's up, Annie Delaware? Look at that. You got fans out here, girl. Yeah. All right, how long you have SOBs?
33 years.
Woo! Yeah, 33 years. Just came back into the rehab for a little tune-up. Yeah, cool. So what's a lie your head tells you?
I don't know enough.
You don't know enough. And what's the truth?
I am wise and innately smart.
Nice. Very nice. And what you don't know, you can learn. You don't have to know everything, huh? You don't need to know everything. That's the whole journey of it all is learning. That's why we're here, right? Okay, so, band, what do we tell our girl Annie? That's really good. Let's do a really good one since it's the last one. 1, 2, 3. You're rad. When's the last time 4,972 people told you you're rad at the same time? Great. So here's some of our content that we can start developing our lyrics with. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump into developing our song in 20 minutes. All right, you guys ready? I'm going to set this thing down. You'd think I know how to work a mic by now. Okay, what's your name?
Nancy.
Say, what's up, Nancy? And what's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Say, what's up, Jennifer? All right, so you guys are a great audience. Thank you. By the way, our merch is in the back. We're selling hats and T-shirts. Check out our MySpace page. Thank you very much. My Facebook? What? Okay. So what I want you to do is read the lyrics that you wrote, okay? Who wants to read them? Okay, you.
Okay, great. I'm just reading them. Okay. I was never really good enough. I never really knew enough. I could never really see the point. I was nothing, going nowhere. There was no one. I was empty. I was nothing.
Okay. So make some noise. Yeah. So here's what I would do if I was in the session. Okay, that's pretty dark, which is fine. I never felt good. I was never really good enough. Can we change it to I never felt good enough? Or I never really, like, let's make it a little more not absolute, right? Can you do that and still use your melody? I never thought I was good enough. Okay, great. And you can still do the same melody? Okay, great. So you try to walk them off the ledge. Just a hair. Just a hair. All right, good. Okay, so we're going to make some quick adjustments. And what we're going to do is I'm going to bring the band back in. And then when you guys are ready, we're going to practice your vocals, okay? Is there another mic?
I got 2 microphones ready to go over here. This. Not like this. Not like this. Right in. Oh.
Never thought I was good enough. Felt I never really knew enough. I could never really see the point. I was nothing. Going nowhere. That's awesome.
Okay? So here's where you guys come in. We got the hook.
Anything I put my mind to.
You guys are going to join us in singing the hook. Which, by the way, I have like the world's worst voice. Too many cigarettes, whiskey. It sounds like I've never been raised. But I'm going to sing. So if I can sing, you can sing. And the hook goes like this.
Want to. I wrote another part. I can do anything put my mind to. I can do anything I want to. I can do anything I put my mind to. I can do anything mind to. I can do anything I want to. I can do anything I put my mind to. I can do anything I want to. I can do anything I put my mind to.
So check it out. I'm going to teach you ladies a little trick. This used to be called the self-aggrandizing act with Wes Geer Kumbaya technique, which once we went to national, now it's just called the gang saying. Okay. For the gang saying to work, if you're on the mic, they won't sing as much. So just for right now, when we have the drums going, always use the mic. But just for right now, sing off the mic. Because I want to hear all y'all sing. We're not getting out of here because we're going to 5 o'clock tonight. All right, so ready? I want to hear everybody sing this hook. Now, think about it. You're in treatment. You're bummed out. Your head is like, you suck. You're not going to live. You got to shoot yourself off. Whatever it says, right? Imagine you get this hook stuck They're trying to conserve electricity. How green of them. Okay, we are going to now record this song. But part of what we do in Rock Recovery is we form a band with the clients. What is the name of our band? Anybody got any ideas? We can base it off the song. Okay, Denver legalized it. What is this in the back? The rock stars? Oh, there it is. All right. We are David Smith and the Psychedelics. Woo! I'm pretty sure that band name is available. And how about the song will be called I Can Do Anything, right? David Smith and the Psychedelics, I Can Do Anything. Now, it's good. Woo! Yeah. You got it? Okay, cool. So this is the take. This is the live take. This is the one. We're going to leave it all on the field. You know, the other stuff was just practice. So if you want to get up and clap and sing or any of that, jump off the tables, back flips, front flips, I don't care, stage dive and make a mosh pit, this is the time to do it. But when we record, I'm going to say, we are, and you're going to say, David Smith and the Psychedelics. Let's practice that. We are? David Smith and the Psychedelics. And the song is? I Can Do Anything. You guys are awesome. This might be the coolest rock recovery session ever. Did you check the level on that? You might want to boost it. It's not too hot. Okay, so what we'll do is and keep in mind, most bands would rehearse for 9 years and, you know what I mean, they're gone 5 nights a week and blah, 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 blah. Think about it. We've worked on this song for 23 minutes. Can we make some noise for the band, please? Come on, yeah. You know what? We're changing the name. We're changing the name of our company from Rock to Recovery to 23-minute hits. That's going to be the name, 23-minute hits. So I don't forget, Rock to Recovery now is up and down California. We just hired and trained Noah over here, Noah Landis. Make some noise for Noah. We got Brian Burke, who, by the way, was in a band called Tsunami Bomb, whose punk record got voted what? Yeah, top punk records of all time. Yeah. Rock Recovery is filled with rock stars with long-term sobriety, so we can handle your whole Bay Area needs. If you're San Diego, SoCal, we're in Nashville. We are in Portland area and expanding rapidly. So, yes, hire us. We will come, write hits with your clients, and then take all the money and not tell anybody. Wait, oh. Okay, so remember, David Smith and the Psychedelics, I Can Do Anything. We'll run through, we're just going to cut it live. We're going to do 2 verses and a chorus. The last chorus is going to be all y'all singing at the top of your lungs. All right?
You do the first verse, chorus together, second verse, chorus together.
It's the same verse. Yeah.
Okay, here we are live in San Francisco, and we are
David Smith and the Psychedelics.
and the name of our song?
I Can Do Anything. Never thought I was good enough. Felt I never really knew enough. Could never really see the point. I was nothing, going nowhere. There was no one. I was empty. I was nothing. I can do anything I want to. I can do anything I put my mind to. I can do anything I want to.
Please make some noise for yourself, and let's hear it for David Smith and the Psychedelics. You guys are rad. Thank you very much.